I got exciting news. Despia is finally ready, and here's how it works. It's pretty simple. So the Despia editor is going to produce about 2,000 to 3,000 files. That is your mobile app. You can open those files and edit the code. It even has comments in there to make it simpler for you. You don't have to do this. We have a visual no-code builder. But if you want to extend the functionalities, you can always do so in the custom code if you want to work with 2,000 files. Then if you open that, you can open that in your simulator and test it. And you could also connect your iPhone with your Mac computer and then test it on your device if you want. And making edits is pretty simple because you don't have to go through the publishing process. Let's just create a new branch here, right? We'll create a new branch inside of Total. And now I will just remove the heading, for example, and I publish my branch, right? And now it's taking a little bit. Maybe this will not be a YouTube short. There will be like a YouTube long, but we'll see. Now we got that published here. And now I would go back to my simulator and it immediately updates. So if I open that app in here, we see it removed that heading. That's kind of like how you publish updates. Now you may ask yourself, what about native functionality? How do I get those things inside of here? And I want to show you, because you can do this simply with total actions. I do hope I didn't delete the ones that I was working on. Let's see. Yeah, so we do have an SDK action here that is BioAuth. The way you do that with the code, it does window.despia. And then because mobile apps have, like the deep linking, it uses deep linking kind of like to communicate those things from your web app to your mobile app. So we have now, for example, a sample action, and there will be a package available. If I now go and add a button on here inside of the web app, and I go on the events and I add a click event to that button, and I add an SDK, and there'll be a nicer package, and then I publish this to production, right? You always want to make sure that your Despia app is rendering those things from your main branch so you don't confuse your users when you go like in different stages of development. But now we got that published, and now I want to show you. We'll just go into the simulator here. Again, you could also, here you go. You can also do this on your mobile phone. And I open the Despia app. We got that button. Now when I click on this button, you see it says enter iPhone passcode for Despia. So this is kind of like how your mobile app, has the availability, to trigger native functionality. And then I would put in my password. And if it's wrong, or if now in this case I just have this firing if it's validated, we see we have a native callback, but this callback is happening in the web app. And then you could attach this on an action, right? So here's what's going on, and that's how cool that is, right? Because, where do we have it? I do have my button in here, right? And that button on click is calling the SDK for BioAuth. But then on load of the page cycle, I do have my callback, right? And that callback inside of here is, doing things. So I do have my callback action here, and you see that callback action that does the alert here. So when I'm finally done in my total package, this would do ctx.trigger event action. It's hard to program if you only have one hand available, but you get the idea. It would do the ctx, and then you would have your events on this callback for Face ID, and then you can do things on this life cycle. So you build all your native app logic inside of the web application. And because we can see for the Despia user agent, you can have like your web application and your mobile application in one thing with all native mobile functionalities and get the appropriate callback. But then you can kind of like differentiate, is this running on Despia or is this running on my web application, and then do things or don't do certain things. Running those mobile applications will not decrease the performance of your web application. So that's a good thing. It doesn't, because this schema is not available on browsers. You will get an error in the console saying I can't go to / BioAuth, right? But this is kind of like how we trigger the native functionality and how that works. And you get your 2,000 files in Xcode, and then you'll just archive that file and publish it to the App Store. We also have the Android thing. The nice thing about that is you do own your code, 2,000 files, and you get access to all those exciting things inside of here. So yeah, that's how it works, and then you kind of like build your mobile app with that. And yeah, so that's how Despia works. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that.